Hi everyone, this is Penny from Wacko Witch Astrology. If you have been watching my channel, you probably saw that a few weeks ago now, I did a video on the future of Donald Trump. And back in November, I had done a video about the election, which was detailed enough that it illuminated us on some of the upheaval that would be happening after the election. Specifically, there being some kind of fire. I think I actually wound up hearing about that at some point in the news. But thank you for joining me here today. What we're going to discuss now is more in detail the legal future of Donald Trump. What is going on for him legally? Is he in legal trouble? Is he going to jail? Basically, what do things look like for him right now? So I am going to start with my Wild Unknown Tarot deck. And what I love about this deck is it's really great for getting kind of creative visions, I get some really detailed insight personally when I use this deck. And another thing that I haven't really explained before is that when I do tarot readings, I'm not always just looking at the cards. I've been doing them long enough that not only do the pictures move sometimes, but other times I just outright get visions about the topic I'm inquiring about. So we'll see what comes up. And first, I want to keep this very general so the spirits can just tell us whatever is relevant. And I just want to know about the legal standing and the future of Donald Trump once again, but specifically about his standing with the law. And I know there's been some disagreements on what exactly is going on, who's going to be in trouble, who isn't going to be in trouble, all that kind of thing. But that's why we're consulting the wisdom of something that isn't human and won't hold as much bias. Okay, so I'm told that this is the reading. This is what they want us to know about. And first, we're getting the Two of Swords. I am seeing this disagreement here. And then the Mother of Pentacles. So again, I'm getting that there is something going on within his family. I know that came up kind of in the last reading too. And then we have the card above here. And below is the Death card. So this is basically showing a cycle where things need to be put to the end. I believe this is the Six of Swords right here. It's basically, again, it's telling us that there is a bad situation that Donald Trump needs to be able to escape from and get himself out of right now at this time. I know that's not something that everyone agrees with right now, but again, that's just what's coming up. In the past, we have the Strength card, and I'm getting like a lot of pain from this. I'm getting that it's been like almost physically painful for him to hold on to this battle and keep fighting for everything he's been fighting for, keep fighting for his presidency. It's something that's actually caused him pain and even potentially physical harm. I feel like this is going back to his stress levels and some of the things that he's kind of inflicted on himself by not resting and by not taking the time to get proper treatment. In my last video, you might have seen it, you might not have, I talked about his medical condition and what was going on. I saw like a nervous system that was lighting up. So I think there's something going on with his nervous system that is affecting his health at this time. So again, I'm getting more cards coming up about the family and what is going on there. His relationship with his wife and his daughter, and that's somehow complicating things. Like I don't feel like there's clear communication. I feel like he might not know that they're like outwardly disagreeing on some of this stuff, but somehow the lack of clear communication between him and specifically some of the older female members of his family, it's creating some kind of issue. It's creating some kind of tension. And I feel like there's some secrets that are being kept among them. And I actually feel like it's them, it's his daughter and his wife that are being kind of secretive towards him. There's something that they're withholding from him, something that they're not telling him about what is actually going on. And I'm feeling like he's mostly oblivious towards it right now. He's actually been like almost oversharing everything that's going on with him to them. He tells them pretty much everything. And right now there's something, going on. I feel like there's just some things that they're not feeling good about, and they're not outwardly confronting him about it, and they might be withholding some information that they have because of that as well. So again, I'm seeing this thing where I'm feeling like he's also like suffering from really bad headaches right now. He's getting really bad headaches from all the stress and from everything that's been going on. And we have the death card below. So again, I'm seeing energetically that he is really just kind of ready to put this behind him, to be over with. And I know is so weird because it's in contrast to the way he's behaving. If you listen to that phone call with I'm sorry, I'm so bad with official terms, but with the election guy in Georgia, if you listen to that phone call, he was still fighting and everything, but it looks like he's been hiding this sort of like physical pain and stuff that he's been in with everything that's been going on. And he doesn't look like he has much in the way of fighting energy left. Now, we know there's still other people who have been fighting for him as well. I might need to draw some cards on that too. And why is the family coming up again? Honestly, why is the family coming up so much? It looks like there's almost like a trap that's been set for him that he's ready to just walk into. He's already taken at least the first step. He's about to kind of metaphorically fall off the cliff, fall into the trap. So there's something going on there. I do have reason to believe that there's something going on in his family. And I feel like it's a combination of things. Some people in his family are really still on his side. They're still trying to help. They're still ready to be his ally. But even with those people, some of them are doing things that in a way are getting him further into the ditch, that are causing more problems, creating more obstacles, things that were meant to be helpful but weren't really helpful. So he has some family members doing that, and then he has other family members who are kind of sitting back, silently disagreeing with what he's doing. And it's almost like it's just creating this like really messy situation with the family that's going to affect Donald Trump's legal standing. And then this card, I'm seeing that this one is not just about the family. This is the 5 of Cups here. And this one is not just about the family. It's about some of his coworkers, some of the other individuals from the Republican Party. And as we know, it's not all of them. If you watched my video about the future of Donald Trump, you know that I said he specifically still has like a handful of allies who are going to help him through this situation, who are going to have his back. But this card is showing people who are around him who are very disappointed in him right now and who are disappointed in what is going on. And this isn't them like outwardly being like, oh, I want to sabotage Donald Trump, like we have to stop them. This is them just kind of not wanting to help anymore. It's a small step, but it's a step that they have taken, kind of severing their relationship with Donald Trump so that they're no longer really an ally for him. So I'm not seeing like anyone. Did it get blurry? I'm sorry. I'm not seeing anyone like outwardly turning on him right now. I'm seeing people who at the worst are withholding information because they don't really agree with what he's doing anymore. And then with our last 2 cards, we have one butterfly in the cocoon that's about to emerge, and then the other that actually is emerging. So I'm seeing that this is pretty much a sequence of events. Like there's something that's being prepared for, something bigger that we're trying to grow into, and then something that we are eventually going to accomplish, which is it's freedom. It's like a new level of accomplishment, and it's moving on to something different. Now, I know that new level of accomplishment thing, it might kind of like, for some people, it kind of irks them and they're like, oh, what is going on? And for other people, they're like, but no, his role is to be president. And some people get so emotional about this and they want it to be one thing or the other. But I'm just trying to be unbiased and like just say it like it is, because that's the only way that I can really predict things accurately, is if I put my own emotions aside about what is going on. So what I'm seeing from this is it does still look like he's going to be able to gain his freedom. He's in kind of like a transformational stage right now. And this is almost like a time for him where he needs protecting, where he needs people who can help get him out of this so he can move on to the next phase of his life and he can create something else out of it. So this is like him kind of coming up from the ashes. Again, like I said in the last reading, I think it's going to take a while. I think it might take about 3 years or so for Donald Trump to be able to recover from what is going on in any way at all, especially since he has some type of medical condition that has been affecting him. But it does look like he's not going to jail anytime soon. That's still not what I'm seeing here. So I also want to kind of ask, what does he have going for him? What does he have that is still working in his favor? And then what does he have right now that is not working in his favor, that could be sabotaging him? And then maybe we'll find out if some of the things that are sabotaging him are things that could lead to him going to jail. I mentioned in the other reading that I did that I believed Alexander Acosta is one of the people who is still going to have his back and be on his side. And at first, like, I feel dumb for not realizing it first, but at first I'm like, I don't know how he would be able to help now. It's probably because he has connections. You know, he was the, what do they call the dirty thing? I don't know. I'm so bad with these terms. It was the United States Attorney General. I don't know, something like that. But I'm thinking that's kind of, you know, one of his biggest allies still. So we want to know, like, socially, what does he have working in his favor? Who's still on his side? Which events might wind up being helpful for him? Yeah, so I'm seeing that it looks to me like his son is still on his side. That is the person that I see coming up when I draw the Son of Cups here. It's literally translating to his son. And then the people who aren't on his side, like he would probably know this better than anyone else, but it's the people who are kind of being quiet right now. The people who are being quiet right now, it's mostly because they don't agree with what he's doing. Or for some of them, they're just scared. And, you know, as we've heard from Donald Trump talking, he actually gets very offended by this kind of thing. So it might be kind of a double-edged sword in a way, you know, where he has some people who are already kind of standing by, like, I'm not sure if I agree with what he's doing. I don't want to take action yet, but I really don't agree with what he's doing. And then Donald Trump responds by being like, oh, how dare you? So when people see that and when people see, like, the punishment they're getting, it doesn't necessarily make them all of a sudden feel brave and feel like they can stand up, but it does make them feel more closed off, like, okay, now I really don't want to help. So that's something that's not working from him. He has this, like, habit of kind of isolating people, and then people around him also decide to isolate themselves because they don't want to have to deal with the confrontation and the disagreements with him. So that's something that over time has kind of caused him more and more problems. And I'm seeing it as having kind of like a snowball effect over time. All right, in terms of actions. So one of the bad things that we had came up, this is showing, again, his connection to his family. And some of his family members feel that he has not taken on his responsibilities appropriately. They feel like he has not lived up to expectations. And for some of them, I really do feel like it comes from a place of love, and like they expected better. They expected him to do better and to accomplish more. And like this one doesn't feel as much like a moral disagreement necessarily, but it's a combination of they don't agree with the way he does things, and then they also feel like he doesn't accomplish the things, or he hasn't accomplished the things that he set out to accomplish. So this is something that is not working in his favor right now. But the thing that is working in his favor is he has a very strong foundation of his vision and his goals and what he actually wants to accomplish. Like, despite everything else going on and despite how chaotic that is, he's created a strong foundation for himself, and the fact that he's unwavering in what he believes. He feels like it's his destiny to create certain changes in the world and accomplish certain things, and that's something that continues to serve him. And like, even if you don't like Donald Trump, I feel like this is something for all of us to learn from, like having this not just sense of confidence, but the sense of like, I'm creating my own stability, and I'm believing in myself, and I'm believing in my own purpose and my own willpower. So that is something that he has going for him. He's created a very strong foundation with that. Okay, so it looks like his financial standing is still very good, which to me is a little bit surprising. It seems like they've had to spend a lot of money on these lawsuits and stuff, but it seems like he's still able to stand on his own financially. He has all the money he needs to be able to hire lawyers, to be able to, travel if the opportunity presents itself. Basically just to be able to make the money moves that he needs to be able to make in order to obtain freedom. Now, the thing that is problematic when it comes to finances is that I feel like a lot of people are mad at him about how he's used money, and they don't exactly appreciate the fact that he ultimately needed to be able to use this money for himself and for his own well-being. And people are a little bit annoyed by that. And so there's some people who are already annoyed by this. Obviously, there's a lot of people affected. And then there's some people who are going to be more annoyed later on once they see how he's actually using money. They're going to be like, what the heck? Why'd he use that money for that? And, it's people not agreeing with how he uses money, although it still seems like he has plenty of it to work with. Now, emotionally, what's going on is it's very time consuming. Like I said earlier, it's very, very stressful. But I feel like the fact that he's been willing to kind of create these scenarios, it has allowed him to move forward with his goals in a way where it kind of allowed him to shake things up. So one thing he has accomplished is that he has shooken things up, and he has taken, his kind of creative vision for what he wants to accomplish politically. He's taken it to the next level by making other people feel unstable, by making other people feel a little bit dismantled, and by making other people question things more as well, and changing their own boundaries about what they are willing to do versus what they previously were not willing to do. So I'm seeing that that's something that still worked in his favor. Worst interpretation of this I can come up with is that he might have some people. Well, I feel like by now we at least already know of some from the news, but he has some people who are willing to resort to illegal actions who might not have been willing to resort to illegal actions in the past, because there are people who do believe in what he's doing, and it kind of changed their perspective and changed their boundaries on what they personally are willing to do. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, there are people who don't believe in what he's doing, but they feel scattered because of it. They feel totally thrown off. They feel like, well, what am I supposed to do now? How do I handle this? What is the protocol for handling this? He's been creating a panic response for a lot of the people who don't like him and who don't disagree with him. And he's created a shift for the people who do agree with him. Okay, so one thing that's going on with him psychologically is he feels like this is a difficult situation to escape from. He feels like a little bit caught up, a little bit trapped in things he doesn't necessarily want to be trapped in. And at this point, I feel like he really just wants freedom. I know I've said this already. He's emotionally ready to get out of this situation. Yes, it is something that makes him mad. It is something that's very frustrating for him, but he wants to be able to get out of this situation because it, in a lot of ways, has been a dead end. It, as of lately, has not particularly been serving him. It's potentially been causing more problems, causing more obstacles, and he's just kind of ready to find a way out of it. And it feels like he's even kind of feeling trapped in his own mind. He wants to have options that he doesn't currently have. But the good news for him is, like I said, there's other people who are willing right now to create more options for him and to do things for him. He still has strong allies. He has enough allies that I do believe it's going to be able to keep him free from any type of legal consequences from going to jail. I haven't seen him going to jail in any other countries either. I know I saw something today on Facebook about how there was like a warrant for his arrest in Iran. I haven't seen him going to jail in Iran. I haven't seen him going to jail in like North Korea or in England or in any of those other things that might be rumored right now. And I'm not seeing him going to jail in the United States either. It does look like he's going to be able to maintain his freedom and he's going to be able to get out of this situation. But make sure you've watched my other video about the future of Donald Trump so you understand more about what his next moves might be, because I got some specific visions about what the future for him was going to be like. And it's not like he's just going to vanish completely, but it does seem like he will not be in the future of American politics for much longer. I know that's kind of hard to believe because it seems like he's managed to keep himself in the spotlight for so long. But it looks like political career in America's last stand, and he's moving on to something else within the next few years. Now, one thing that I personally want to know that I am curious about is what is the future of the Republican Party? What does this mean for the Republican Party? Now, if you want to know about that too, please leave a comment below and I will do the reading either live or a pre-recorded video so that you can watch it with me and we can find out, is the Republican Party going to survive this? Is there going to be a big shift for them, or is this the fall of the Republican Party? So to me, that's what's more interesting. I want to know what's going to go on because that seems like a really big historical change that's like really profoundly going to impact our country. But if you're not interested in it, I might just do it on my own time instead of making a video. But thank you for joining me here today. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave them below. I do appreciate when people are able to communicate their opinions respectfully. Please do not insult anyone else in my comments. Try to keep things peaceful as best you can. And I will see you again for my next video. Bye.